It's Wednesday. We're still coming at you from home because we don't want to improv in your face. Welcome to Fantastic Voyage. Give it up for your host for the night, Steve.
You'd think after 12 weeks of this, I'd have this down by now. It's me, I'm Steve. I was muted. These things happen when you're socially distancing your unprov. Hi, welcome to Fantastic Voyage Live Improv. We do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm really glad you're here because we need your suggestions to make this show work. So you're going to be interacting in the chat box with Rebecca, who will be helping us by taking your suggestions and relaying them to the players that I'm going to introduce here in a little bit. I'm just vamping for a bit to let some more people come into the live stream with you guys. But I wanted to point out that in the video description, there are some really important donation links that I want you to take a look at. I'm not going to name them all because there are far too many people out there that need your help right now. So if you've got a little bit of extra money to share it their way. If you don't have a little bit extra money to share, that's totally cool. Share a link with somebody. That's really all it takes. It's free and it will help more than you can even imagine. So yeah, we're going to be doing some live improv comedy here. I say unprov though, because unprov is unscripted, unrefined, unrehearsed, unexpected, lots of uns. So we do unprov here at Fantastic Voyage Improv. But it's not just me. I'm going to bring some other people out. So why don't you give it up, put your hands together right there in your living room for Blake. Keep it going for Malto Meal. We call him Matt. Next up is Bill. And there is also Zach.
Hi.
Hey. And for those of you who are expert Fantastic Voyage Unprov watchers, I want to point out that there are drinking games that go along with this. We don't really know what the cues are. Those are put together by the lovely and talented Suzanne. And so take a look for that and grab your favorite beverage and drink whenever those cues come up. That's a lot of fun. We're going to start tonight with a game called What Are You Doing? What are you doing? So what's going to happen is I'm going to have everybody but two people cover their cameras so that they can jump in and out super fast. And then in a little bit, Blake's going to start doing something. And then Zach will walk up to him and say,
"What are you doing?"
At this point, Blake has to say anything except for what he's actually doing. If he says what he's doing, if he doesn't have anything cool to say, if he says something that's already been said, I'm going to kick him out and replace him with somebody else. But there's not enough audience participation in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to you guys for letters. Becca, do we have 2 letters yet?
We do. G, E.
G and E. So everything that these two do has to start with the letters G and E. Okay? So Blake, why don't you go ahead and start us out?
Blake, what are you doing?
Giggling erratically. Zach, what are you doing?
Good elephants.
Good boy. Good elephant. You want a peanut? There you go. Oh, okay. That's my whole arm. Let go of my arm. Good elephant. Good elephant. Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm gregariously engorging.
I'm Grigorian monk, and I'm gonna eat a spot roast.
Zach, what are you doing?
I don't know.
All right, so Zach is out. Bill is back. Becca, how about 2 more letters, please?
C, W.
C and W. Bill, go ahead and start us out.
Hey, Bill, what are you doing?
Chuckling wildly. Blake, what are you doing?
Calling Walrus.
Walrus! Oh, Mr. Walrus! Walrus, where are you?
Bill, what are you doing?
Climbing walls.
Good. Almost on the ceiling. Ugh. Almost Spider-Man.
Blake, be careful. What are you doing?
I am Calliope whittling. Hey, Bill, what are you doing?
I don't know.
All right, Bill's out. Matt's coming in to try and take Blake down because Blake's been out here for a long time.
Bring it on.
Back, about 2 more letters, please.
NB.
NB.
B?
B is in boy.
Yes.
B is in boy. NB.
Hey, what are you doing?
Naughty boxing.
Ooh, come here, you naughty boy. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, little uppercut. Ooh, take that. Oh, yeah, you want something a little more naughty? Down below. Oh.
Matt, what are you doing?
I am nibbling biscuits.
Well, I say, do I detect a hint of dark chocolate? How delicious.
Oh, Blake, what are you doing?
Noticing bears.
Oh, hey. Yeah, come here. Oh. Oh, hey, bud. How you doing? Hey, I see you. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. You want some food? Yeah. Want some, okay. Ooh, yeah. Hey, bear. Yeah. Oh, gosh, what?
What are you doing?
I am never belching.
Hold it in. Shouldn't have chugged that Coke. Got it.
Blake, what are you doing?
Nacho ballet. Matt, what are you doing?
I am Nantucket boobing.
Okay, somewhere out in the sound is the rare Nantucket booby. It's the last bird I have to find, and then I will have found every bird species there is. Where are you, booby? Why can't I see any boobies? There's got to be boobies in Nantucket somewhere.
There better be boobies around here. Where are you, booby? Blake, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I nearly lost it at Nacho Ballet. All right, I need 1 more out because we've got 1 more round of this. Zach's back. Cool. Becca, I'm going to need 3 letters. We're going to make this even harder.
SHK.
SHK. S as in Sam?
Yes.
Okay. Sam Hotel Kilo.
That was mine. What are you doing?
I'm slyly hitting koalas.
Hey, hey, koala. Ooh. Pop. Oh, pop. Oh, pop.
Zach, what are you doing?
Shit hit kite.
Okay. We got the kite up in the air, okay? You got that bucket of shit? Let's get it up there, okay? Hit it. Ow, okay, the wind moved that one. We can get some more shit. Get some shit on this kite.
What are you doing?
I am superfluously hoarding kangaroos.
No one can have a kangaroo besides me. You have a kangaroo? Give it to me. Oh, it's mine. Oh, you have a kangaroo? Give it to me. Oh, that's mine. Oh, you can't.
Zach, what are you doing?
Swallowing hard edibles.
Edibles doesn't start with a K, Zach. Matt wins it. Matt wins it. Give him
Swallowing hard kites.
a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to a game called dubbing. What's gonna happen is two players are gonna be on your screen doing a scene, but they're gonna be muted, and we're gonna have two other players who are off camera doing the voices for those two that are on screen. That's a lot. It'll make sense in a minute, I promise. So yeah, so Bill, go ahead and mute yourself. There you go. I guess I could do it too. That's fine. I'm gonna need some inspiration for this scene to take place. Becca, do we have anything?
We do. Camp chairs.
Camp chairs is your inspiration for this scene.
Everything's great. Oh man, oh boy, the sun is in my face, and
Ranger Dan, we haven't prepared for the evening. We don't have any firewood. We don't have any way to cook this can of beans. I don't know how I'm gonna earn a badge if we don't have any preparation. We gotta always be prepared, right?
oh, Junior Ranger Rick, why? I'm having the time of my life. You just have to.
Okay, stop. Okay, I heard how you're glad to be away from your wife for the weekend, okay? But this is not just about you getting away from her. This is about you teaching me to get my badge.
Crunch. You are obsessed with badges. Life isn't just about badges.
Yeah, it's about badges, okay? I got the needlework badge. I got the derby badge. I even got the hemming on my own pants badge.
Ooh, okay. Look at you. Look at Mr. Man. He thinks the whole world is his because he has it.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's all about me. Okay, maybe I could learn my marriage therapy badge and help you out.
What? Leave my wife out of this.
Well, no, you're the one that was complaining about it the whole way here. Okay, 3 hours. Oh, she won't let me go outside to work on the lawnmower while she's busy inside watching her shows. Oh, she won't let me bike to the store because I've had a few too many. Everything you do is complain about her.
I complain because I love. You don't even love. You just are obsessed with badges. So buzz up.
I love badges, okay? But you need to show that love. Okay? I know that you have the love for her, but you haven't shown that to her. When's the last time you made a card or biked her to a picnic? Or set out a nice meal for her? Or just hugged her? When's the last time you felt the sweet embrace of a hug?
Oh no. Oh no, you're right. I've been neglectful. Oh man. Oh boy, I'm a bad husband.
Okay,
Oh,
no. You're not a bad husband. Right? Right now, you're neglecting the fire. Okay? So once you give me my fire making badge, then once we've stopped neglecting that, we can focus on how you can stop neglecting your wife.
fine.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm gonna get that therapy badge.
I've got a drawer. I've got a drawer full of badges. Here, just take them all. Your fire making there. Just put that on your pencil and
Okay. Yeah. Got my fire making badge. Okay. Yeah. That's all it takes.
marriage therapist now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay.
But first, you gotta give me advice. I'm lost. I'm lost here. I need your advice. My head hurts.
I don't know too much about advice. I mean, my girlfriend of 2 weeks just dumped me. I mean, she said she didn't want to go to the Sadie Hawkins dance with me. So maybe if you chaperone the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Oh my God.
Here.
Broken up with badge. That's what you get. You're broken up.
Okay, yeah. I got another one. Yeah. Put on the vest. Yeah. How many of those do you got? I'm ready for more.
Oh, that kind of made me want to go camping. In a really weird way. Later on in the show, we're actually going to tell a campfire story. So that's going to be fun. But right now, we're going to move on to telling some jokes. Since the quarantine started, we've had a lot of free time on our hands, like a tremendous amount of free time on our hands. Some of us are unemployed, some of us are underemployed. So we've been spending a lot of time watching movies. We've seen like every movie there is to see. You guys can name any suggestion in the comments and we will have seen a movie about that, and it will be bad, I promise, because we've run out of good movies. So we're gonna tell you how bad these movies are in a game called Be Movie. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get a suggestion from you guys, and one of these players is gonna set up the suggestion. I saw a movie about a blank that was so bad, and at this point, I'm gonna say it for everyone, but I want everyone at home to join me. I'm not there. I can't see you whether you do this or not, but I want you to, because I want to know in my heart that you're saying it too. I'm gonna say, how bad was it? So you guys all say it along with me, okay? And then they'll tell you how bad that movie was, okay? So to get us going for this, Becca, what is our first suggestion?
Oil cans.
Oil cans. Oil cans.
I saw a movie about oil cans that was so bad.
How bad was it?
It only scored a 10W30 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I saw a movie about oil cans that was so bad.
How bad was it?
It left the theater completely void.
I took my wife to a movie that was so good.
How good was it?
She thought I was pretty slick.
I saw an adult movie about oil cans that was so good.
How good was it?
In a jiffy, I was lubed.
Okay, we're gonna move on to a new suggestion. Becca, help us out.
Doll collectors.
Doll collectors, like collectors of dolls.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw a movie about doll collectors that was so bad.
How bad was it?
It made me feel like a real jabroni.
I saw a movie about dog collectors that was so good it came to life.
I saw a movie about dog collectors that was so bad.
How bad was it?
I was so glad when they got to the credits and played Tom Petty's American Girls.
That wasn't the punchline.
Oh, okay. Okay, Jack, go ahead. Do it again.
Geppetto came to life like Geppetto.
Ow. So that's how good it was.
Yeah, so good.
This has gone off the rails. Yay. How about we get another suggestion and try and put this train back on track?
A bag of pretzels.
A bag of pretzels.
I saw a movie about pretzels that was so good,
How good was it?
I gave it a rolled gold star.
We do product pitches too.
I saw a movie about a bag of pretzels that was so surprising.
How surprising was it?
It had like dozens of twists.
I saw a movie about a bag of pretzels that was so wholesome.
How wholesome was it?
I was able to take my Auntie Anne.
I saw a movie about pretzels that was so good.
How good was it?
I was snidering through the whole thing.
All right, I think we've pitched all of the pretzel brands. Becca, you got another suggestion for us?
Graphic artists.
A graphic artist.
I saw a movie about graphic artists that was so bad.
How bad was it?
It was just a picture. It wasn't emotion at all.
I saw a movie about graphic design that was so bad.
How bad was it?
There's no way the director could have claimed victory.
All right, that's where that game ends. That's fair. All right, that was B-Movie. All right, I'm going to need Zach and Bill to stay out for this next game. They're going to play a game that we call Merrie Melodies. And what's going to happen is in a second, we are going to get songs from the audience, and everything that they say in this scene has to be in the tune of whatever song that they are assigned. So let's start with assigning songs. For Bill, can I get a favorite, how about a favorite childhood song?
Ring Around the Rosie.
Ring Around the Rosie. Bill, you know that one?
Yes.
Okay, good. And for Zach, I'm gonna need a song that always gets stuck in your head.
We have a weird audience. Apparently Edelweiss gets stuck in people's head.
Edelweiss?
Sound of music.
All right, it sounds like Zach knows this. And now we're gonna need some inspiration for this scene.
Doing cross stitch.
Cross stitch. Cross stitch is your inspiration for this scene, boys.
Stitching up, stitching down. This purple duck is amazing.
Granny, won't you teach me the secrets of your wisdom? Please, please, I want to know.
You're so young. I don't want you to poke your little fingers. So just sit by the fire and eat some hot cocoa.
The only thing more boring than watching you knit, or the knitting myself, is watching you do it instead.
Son, just listen to one thing. I'm not knitting, I'm cross-stitching. There's a big difference. So, what do they teach you in school?
Granny, don't you know that I'm only in pre-K? Give me a fucking break.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Chips, son. You are Bill's little boy. Please forgive me, grand boy.
That's all right, Granny. We're just glad to have you around. Still alive as you are.
Oh, that's nice for you to say. Here, come sit by your grandmother. Lay your head to my breast. I shall cross-stitch your world.
Granny, why you poking me with that needle? Ouchie, ouchie, it hurts real bad.
Face got straight cross-stitched in.
Bill got cross-stitched in the face by an old lady.
Cross-stitched in the face. All right, can I have everybody come back, please? Where'd everybody go? There we are. And the set list? I know what the next game is, but nobody else does. All right, we're gonna move on to a game called Press Conference. So for this one, I'm gonna need to send Blake to a soundproof breakout room. So everybody say bye to Blake.
Bye, Blake.
Oh, I got him just in a high five. That was good timing. Okay, so Blake is going to be giving a press conference, but he didn't know what he did or where he did it. And that is going to be up to the reporters in the room to feed him clues via questions to get him to understand what he did and where he did it. So first off, you guys are going to tell him what he did. So what is it that Blake did?
He passed a kidney stone.
Ooh, passed a kidney stone. And where did he pass this kidney stone?
In Atlantis.
In Atlantis. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are the best audience in the world. Everybody got that? Blake passed a kidney stone while he was in Atlantis. Okay. Reporters, are you ready?
Yeah, sir.
Let's bring Blake back.
Yes, hello. Thank you, everyone, for being here to hear my very important announcement. And I'm happy to go ahead and open the floor up to questions. Yes, you in the hat with the flags.
Maxim Online. We're wondering, sort of, we do a pain tolerance article. How painful was it?
Oh, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was about an 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty painful. Yes. You in the green hat.
Hubert from Hip Language Today. Is this why the kids say hard pass? Is that why they say that?
Well, yeah. I mean, they saw how painful it was for me, so naturally, They were smart enough not to do it. Yep. Yes, you and the other hat and the bow tie.
Bill Fruckley from Doctors. What happened when it passed?
Oh boy. You know, I'm not even sure because the pain was just blinding. I mean, they told me it was one of the most painful things a man could experience, and I kind of scoffed. But oh my God, when that thing passed, boy, did that hurt! I'll tell you, that was some excruciating pain. And you know, I don't even know what happened after that. I was just kind of blinded by the pain. That was horrifying. Yes, with the flags.
Yeah. Being that it was so painful, I mean, are you going to avoid other things that might remind you of it? I mean, are you only going to eat navy beans or garbanzo beans or like green beans from now on?
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna stay away from anything that reminds me of kidneys and any kind of rocks, boulders, gravel, anything like that. Because boy, I'll tell you, when you've passed a kidney stone, you never want to think about that again. Thank you for applauding my passing of a kidney stone. Any more questions? Yes, you in the green hat.
Yeah, Wade Winterbottom from the Caribbean Gazette. So, did the fact that you that it was summer, did that help? Did that help at all? You know, humidity with everything kind of loosen things up for you?
I mean, it didn't hurt. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Sounds like it did hurt.
With the hat and the bow tie.
Chick Ruckley again. Do you know Prince Namor?
Prince Namor.
Character.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with Prince Namor.
Oh boy, you better.
I'll have to look that up. Yes, the hat with the flags.
Yeah. So some ladies prefer to do underwater births to sort of diminish the pain or make it more natural. Is that sort of some of the reasons why you went there for it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that basically is the reason. I figured the warm salt water, you know, would probably help me relax, and would be a good, you know, relatively sterile environment to do this in. You know, I don't know if it helped because I've only ever passed this one kidney stone, and it was in this environment, so I don't know what it would feel like to pass it not in the water. Yeah. Yes, hat with the bow tie.
Oh yes. If you don't know Prince Namor, you sure must know Aquaman.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I certainly know Aquaman. Of course, who doesn't know Aquaman?
Where'd you hang out with him?
Well, we hung out under the sea.
Oh yes.
More specifically?
What's that?
Under the Atlantic Ocean?
That's
In
a big-
Atlantis.
Oh.
Oh.
So I'm presuming that's what happened.
Yes. Just ignoring the fact that it turns out that Atlantis is a real place that I've been to, the real news is that I passed a kidney stone in Atlantis.
Okay. Thank you for that soundbite.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Absolutely.
time.
Thank you
Jay.
for coming to my press conference about my bodily functions.
You bet.
I love the snark. Put aside for the fact that Atlantis is a real place. Oh, that was awesome. All right, so now Matt, Blake, and Bill are going to join us. We have a panel of experts coming up right now. While they go and get into their costumes, I think Becca has been priming everybody for questions that the panel of experts will give you. And usually this goes as like good advice, bad advice, and ugly advice. And that's why we call it good, bad, ugly. But the players have free reign to take it wherever their characters see fit. So if everybody is ready to come back on, or if not, I can just once again plug down the description somewhere. There are some links to some really important organizations that could really use your help. So if it doesn't distract you too much from the show, go ahead and take a look at those now. Otherwise, check those out after the show. This video will remain online. So can I get some questions? Well, how about can we have the panelists introduce themselves, please?
Yeah, how you doing? Patty the Caddy. So happy to see you. It is such a beautiful day. It is going to be an amazing day to work with you. I am excited.
Hey. I'm Gene. I'm Mustard. And you haven't had enough of me in your life.
Okay.
G'day. I'm Campfire, an Australian taxi driver down under. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to answering questions and having my accent go in and out periodically.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of the Australian accent, so I'm really looking forward to this, Cab. That's excellent. Okay, let's see if there's any questions out there that the audience would like to know.
Our audience would like to know, how do you potty train a new puppy?
Okay, this panel seems to be experts on everything, so let's find out, how exactly do you potty train a new puppy?
Potty training a new puppy, I'll tell you, that can seem as hard as the 17th hole at Augusta. But just like the 17th hole at Augusta, it's all about the dog leg. If you take care of the dog leg, get the dog leg out of the way, you won't have any problems.
Yeah, why are you worrying about your dog? Okay? Your dog doesn't matter. Your mustard is in the back of your fridge and you haven't used it recently. Stop worrying about your carpet and worry about your mustard.
Now, I'm afraid of sharks, but I love shark fin soup. I know they made it illegal in China, but I love the taste of shark fin soup. And every time I eat sharks, I just think, I'm getting back at you bastards for biting me arm off back in '89.
Okay. None of that had anything to do with potty training dogs. That's awesome. Let's move on to the next question.
Sorry, how do I stifle a sneeze?
Ooh, how do you stifle a sneeze? Patty?
Well, that's a tough one. And I'm glad you're thinking about that, because there's nothing that makes a golfer madder than when they're just about to tee off and somebody in the crowd sneezes. Whew, I'll tell you. So really the best way to stifle a sneeze is to just wear a nice thick sweater like this one. Put your arm up there, clamp it over your face, and let that sneeze fly, and nobody will hear it.
I tell you, Patty, I really like your advice. Gene, how do you stifle a sneeze?
Okay, how do you stifle a sneeze? Okay, get out of your house. All this COVID bullshit, okay, I'm not being used. There's not picnics going on. There's not get-togethers. There's not bonfires, okay? You stifle a sneeze by stop being a pansy and get out there, make some burgers and some brats and put me on it.
Okay, we're underusing the mustard. Cab, how do you stifle a sneeze?
I love words. There are so many funny words out there. You know what's a funny word? Flatulate. Another funny word, regurgitate. I think anything that ends with ATE is a funny word. Think about it. The English language is full of funny words.
Okay. Riveting. Thanks, Cab. All right, how about another question, Becca?
Creamy or chunky peanut butter?
Creamy or chunky peanut butter?
Oh boy, creamy or chunky peanut butter. I'll tell you, that's as difficult as a decision as 4-iron or 5-iron on the third hole at Pebble Beach for your second stroke. It takes a lot of thought, but you got to think about what is your end game here, okay? Because if your end game is just a quick snack, get out of there, no fuss, no muss, you probably want to go with crunchy because it's a little less messy. But if your end game is just a real delicious, enjoyable, satisfying peanut butter and jelly sandwich, then you should go with creamy because it's far more satisfying and a little less work to eat. But either way, you can go right, you can go wrong. The best advice is trust your gut.
Excellent. Gene?
Okay, this is once again the issue, okay? People are talking about all the stupid things, okay? This crunchy or chunky or creamy peanut butter, okay? People are putting fancy stuff on their burgers. that's nothing, okay? If you want a fancy burger, go with a nice habanero mustard, okay? I had a cousin, okay? He was a cranberry mustard, and he lived at the Mount Horeb Museum. Okay, there was a mustard museum in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, and that place is closed, and nobody's talking about that. Nobody's using mustard. They're worried about peanut butter. What's this bullshit?
Okay, we've got some emotions from the mustard. Cab, help us out here.
I had a slow day today on the beat. The only guy I drove was a bloke named Steve. Or was it Terrence? No, I think it was Steve.
Okay, I think that's about all the time we have for questions from this panel. Any parting words?
Sure. Look, it's all very challenging. There's times in life when that hole seems like it's 500 yards away and you got no chance of making par. Okay, and you get all worried about the wind and the sand traps and the water hazards, but really, it's all inside of you. You just take some deep breaths, stay calm, choose whatever club feels right to you, take a nice, easy swing, and great things will happen.
Yeah, it can all be inside you, okay? People are worried about these Australian fires or whatever this dingo's up to talking about that. People are getting worked up about, peanut butter. They're using ranch on their fries and ketchup. What's that bullshit? Get back to using mustard and your life will be better.
As you might guess from the name, I like to recommend Australian wines. And speaking of Australian wines, this wine's from Argentina. It's an Arcavio 2014 Tempranillo Roble. I highly recommend it. I think it goes well with steak or kangaroo.
All right, panelists, thank you for joining us. That's all the time we have for Good, Bad, Ugly.
Thank you for having me.
Taste sucks.
Okay, players, if you could go and rename yourselves back to whatever you want to be called, that would be great. I don't have time to do that. Actually, we need to set the tone because we're about to tell a campfire story. And I put this game in here because my favorite thing to do in the summer is to sit around the fire with some friends, drinking some cold beverages, and just telling stories. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that for you tonight. Because I feel like we haven't had nearly enough opportunity to do that in our lives lately. So we're gonna try it. So as you see, we've got the fire going. We just need a premise, something to tell a story about. So Becca, do we have a story that we can tell?
We would like to hear the story of the sage from Seattle.
The sage from Seattle.
Very few people know that there is an entire society of wizards that live in the Pacific Northwest. And once, about 50 years ago, in fact, 50 years ago to this day, a particular wizard from Seattle got into some very big trouble.
Now, the trouble he got into was money laundering. He got involved with the wrong people in an illicit butcher shop. And when he got caught up, it was all he could do to get his family out of trouble. See, there was a whole string of illicit butcher shops in Seattle at the time. It was really the butcher capital of America. But the black market was really where you found the best meat. And he got in trouble because he kept frequenting the same shop. And eventually the owner noticed how smart he was, how wise he was.
And the owner said to Frank, the wizard, I know what you're doing. You are a money launderer, and I will send you to jail. I'm going to get the cops over here, and it's gonna be ugly. So get out of my store and get ready to be arrested.
So Frank, he said, I know vice lords. I'll be coming after you. They'll be coming at you from the Seychelles. They'll be coming at you from the Isle of Man. They'll be coming at you from Panama. They don't care if there's papers there. And so Frank, he knew that he could launder money through the spice shop where there was thyme, rosemary, and sage. And he knew that the sage
was rare indeed. It was the famous sage from Seattle, prized in all markets in the world, but especially down in the Caribbean, where they like their chicken jerky and spicy. This was the only spice that could actually
save Frank, as long as he was able to launder money through it. So he went to the spice shop and he talked to the owner, and the owner, Rosemary, said, I will help you, but we need to be very, very, very careful that we don't get caught. So
I'm going to need some reassurances from you, Frank, that we won't, this won't go south. And Frank, being the ever clever wizard, he's like, oh, don't worry.
I will go down to the Caribbean. I will get the people of the land hooked
on the spice stage from Seattle. They've never tasted such a thing. And then
they will demand more and more and more. And through all that spice, you will make a fortune, and I will be able to launder
all of the money, because they will be dependent upon
the spice to get their
fix of sage, because
non-sage meals just won't taste good to them anymore.
So
dependency on the sage will cause us to allow this vessel of money laundering to continue.
And I'll take a cut, 10% off the top, like we
agreed. And then I'll have the money to buy all the
spices in all the world.
The Sage Empire will be ours, from Seattle
to the shores of New Jersey.
The end. You got to tune in next week to see how the rest of that story goes. We won't finish that next week, sorry. All right, we're going to move on to a game that is called Sex with Me. I'm sure you've been watching there in your living room going, wow, those are some sexy improvisers. I wonder what Sex with Them is like. So now we're going to tell you what Sex with Us is like in this game called Sex with Me. You're going to give us suggestions, and we're going to tell you why Sex with Us is like those suggestions. So Becca, to get us started here, what is our first Sex with Me suggestion?
A houseplant.
A houseplant.
Sex with me is like a houseplant. I got a lot of it.
Sex with me is like a houseplant. I stay in one place in the dampest.
Sex with me is like my houseplants. Fake.
All right, how about something else?
A forever stamp.
A forever stamp.
Sex with me is like a forever stamp. You only need to lick it once.
Sex with me is like a forever stamp. It's not affected by inflation.
That's it for stamps? Sorry, I had to rename Blake. It was Bob.
Like a forever stamp. It'll cost you $20.
Sex with me is like a forever stamp. It'll come in handy when you least expect.
Oh,
I
oh,
don't
Bill.
know what that means.
Oh, Bill. I think we all know what that means. How about another one, Becca?
A loofah.
A loofah? Ooh.
Next to me is a loofah and koi.
Sex with me is like a loofah. It's been the same way for the past few months, so it's starting to get moldy.
Sex with me is like a loofah. It's probably the second creepiest thing in your grandma's bathroom.
Sex with me is like a loofah. Chances are we're going to make a big mesh.
All right, how about something else for us?
Vitamin D.
Ooh, vitamin D.
Sex with me is like vitamin D. I'm deficient in it.
Sex with me is like vitamin D. You need the sun to get it in you.
Sex with me is like vitamin D. Ever been with a star?
Okay, I think we're gonna end sex with me there. We have but one game left tonight, and then we're gonna let you get on with your merry lives. But I wanted to take a second to thank you for watching Fantastic Voyage live improv every Wednesday here at 7 p.m. on the internet. Hopefully, over the next couple weeks, we'll be able to meet again in person. Well, the players will be able to meet again in person. We're working towards that, but we're not quite ready to do that yet. Not until things are safe and we can be sure that we can do that in a manner that isn't going to put anybody in danger. So for now, thanks for joining us. We know this is weird. This has been 12 weeks now of weird improv from our own houses to your house. So we really appreciate you tuning in every week to help us do this. Once again, I'm going to point you to the description and those important links. Take a look at those, share them with people. Lots of people really need your help right now, and we can do our part. But I want one person to stay and 3 people to leave, because we're going to play everybody's favorite board game tonight. We're going to play Clue. Ooh. So I'm going to send Bill, Matt, and Zach away. Blake's going to hang out with me. Bill, Matt, there we go. Now we've got a Blake. So what's going to happen is there's going to have been a murderer who did something in a place. Wait, with a thing. It's going to be up to you guys to provide Blake who that was, where they did it, and what the object was. Blake will then have to communicate that to the first person who comes back using only mime and gibberish. Okay? They will then have to communicate it to the next person, who will communicate it to the next person, etc., until at the end, and we will have gotten it 100% correct. Doubt it. Anyway, Becca, what was the occupation of the murderer?
Do you want the location first?
Okay, we can do the location first.
Whatever makes you guys happy. The location was a shark's house.
A shark's house.
Okay.
And the occupation, if you're ready?
Was a food vendor.
And the weapon.
Popcorn shrimp.
There's kind of a theme there. This could be interesting.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Like, can you recap for make sure you've got it?
Yeah. The location is a shark's house. The occupation is a food vendor, and the weapon is popcorn shrimp.
Okay, cool. I am going to need everybody at their houses to yell with me, "First detective, come back." Ready? 1, 2, 3. First detective, come back! It appears you didn't yell loud enough. Yell it again. Oh, wait, there he is.
Zaba. Zaba, Zaba. Zaba, Zaba, Jimba. Zaba. Dum bum, dum bum, dum 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 dum. Ha! Zaba. Dum 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 dum. Ding dong, ding dong. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Zaba. 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 Oh, Zaba. Ha. Zaba. Yep. Zaba. 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 Come on. Zaba. Zaba. Click. Zaba. Beep 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 beep. Pop 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 pop. Bing. Zaba. Zaba. Pop 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 pop.
Sorry.
I was covered muted. Zach was muted. Things were just all kinds of
I don't
weird.
know how I got muted.
Okay, second. I have to type in second detective so that they know. DETECTIVE. All right, there we go. Everybody yell with me on the count of 3. Second detective, come back. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Second detective, come back. Hey, it worked this time.
Yay.
The bunga. The bunga, 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 bunga.
为什么的吧，红爸爸？
Zababa. Click, click. So.
这么唰，
哦，好哦，啊，咋吧吧吧吧，咋吧啦？啊，咋吧吧吧吧，咋吧吧吧？
啊，这么啊，
咋咋咋咋。
啊，这么哇，吐，吐。
All right, he seems to be gone. Now I'm going to need your help to get the last detective. Wait, I got to type that in. Last detective. There we go. On the count of 3, yell with me. Last detective, come back. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Last detective, come back. He should be back any minute. All right, there he is. There we go. Okay, everybody seems to be gone. Now we'll bring them all back, and we will go at it from Bill to Matt to Zach to Blake to see how close we got. How close do you think we got? Put it in the comments. Do you think we got them all 100%?
Not all.
Like this video if you think we got it all 100%. I want to see all the thumbs up going up the side right now. Just blah, blah. Beep, 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 beep. All right, Bill, what was the location?
A fish tank in Matt's basement.
Ooh, no, it wasn't. Matt, what was the location?
It was Shark Tank.
No.
Oh!
Close. All right, Zach, what was the location?
The threshold of a shark door.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. Can we give it to him?
Yeah.
Blake,
So
tell him
close.
what it was, and then everybody will vote.
It was just on the other side of the threshold. It was a shark's house.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about the shark bit.
All right. All right, Bill. Maybe you'll remember this one. What was the occupation?
I was an extra on Conan the Barbarian, the remake.
No. Matt, what was the occupation?
The occupation was a vendor at the farmer's market.
Kinda. See, this is where we need a live audience to vote. Zach, what do you think the occupation was?
Or specifically, a hot dog vendor at a game.
We have to be more specific, apparently.
The audience is not taking hot dog vendor?
A pretzel dog vendor.
Well,
I would say that's a little more specific than the suggestion. Blake, give the suggestion.
yeah, he needs to be less specific, actually, because it was food vendor.
It was just vendor.
Wait, no, I mean, I need to get more specific suggestions.
Oh.
You guys are too good at this.
Bill, let's see if you can top an extra in the Conan the Barbarian remake. What was the murder weapon?
It was clearly a smelly anchovy.
It was not a smelly anchovy. Matt, what was the murder weapon?
It was popcorn.
Oh, no, not quite. Almost, but not there. Zach, what was the murder weapon?
It was 2 words. It was popcorn and bucket. A popcorn bucket.
Oh, no. The second word is not correct. Blake, what was it?
Oh.
The first word was popcorn, but the second word was shrimp.
Hilarious that somehow we got it back down to anchovy. I
was gonna say mine's not that far off. Oh, I mean,
that was our show. We've had a ton of fun doing this for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, check out the links in the description down there. Like this video, share it with your friends. It's going to stay online for a while. Join us again next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. We will be doing this once again. Different hosts, different set of games, different suggestions, same amount of fun. Thank you all for watching. Give it up once again. I forgot to show her face at the beginning of the show, so I'm going to start with her right now. Give it up for Becca. Hey! Keep going for Blake.
Yeah.
Loud round of applause for Zach.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And for Matt. And for Mr. Man Bun himself, Bill. My name is Steve. I've been your host. Thanks for watching Fantastic Voyage. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Give me a smooch.